Welcome to the Soul Star Podcast with your spiritual besties, Allie and Mandy. We're here to make your spiritual journey fun, relatable, and inspiring. So let's raise your vibe and ignite your soul together.
Thank you so much for joining us for another week of the Soul Star Podcast. We are here for another chat about realms because we talked first of all, sorry we didn't show up last week.
I was out of town.
Yeah, Allison was out of town and
It's my fault.
it's Allison's fault. She didn't even tell me she was leaving town, so we couldn't even.
Yeah, see you later. I'm out of here. I was going to make it work. I was going to do it on my phone.
Yeah, she was like, "Can you record?" So I'm just gonna be on my phone in the hotel room. And I'm like, "But you don't have your lighting, you don't have your mic."
You know I'd make it work. I know I'd make it work.
I was like, "Let's just skip." She's like, much easier. You had more fun than West Edmonton Mall, I'm sure.
I know.
Wait, did you go to the mall?
I did. Yeah.
What was your favorite part? It's so big.
It is super big. My least favorite was how much my feet hurt with all the walking. You know what? My most favorite part, like with Edmonton as it is, was all the restaurants that we don't have here. So, I love Swiss Chalet. Like a diehard. There was a bunch. And
First of all, for anybody listening in the States, Swiss Chalet, maybe they have a Swiss Chalet in the States. I don't know. But to me, it's like the old lady restaurant.
Yeah, okay.
It is.
And I'm like, it's the old lady restaurant because here in Victoria, when we had one, there was only one and it was all the senior citizens went. So I get it. To you, it's old. But where I grew up, it's like Swiss Chalet was on everybody. Like we just had it everywhere, right? Like it was all over the place in Ontario. And so it was just something that, you went to. And it was like everybody, like anybody. So I totally get that because yes, it was, if you walked into the one we had here, it was all gray. We used to be like gray heads, or whatever. And I'm just like, oh my God. But I love it. And it closed down here and I've really been missing it. So when I found out they had Swiss Chalet, I was like, literally when I got to the airport and I was getting Ubered to my hotel, I ordered it so that it got delivered to my hotel when I got there.
Oh my God, when was it good?
Oh, so good. I was like, I love you so much. And so I had it again. I had it twice because I had to. And then I had Harvey's because that's another one we don't have here that I missed. So there was I loved that. And then there was all these stores that I have not seen in years that I didn't even know still existed, like Susie Shear. Do you remember Susie Shear?
There is a Susie Shear in Victoria.
What?
I think it's at Hillside Mall.
Liar.
No, I swear. Wait. I think it just closed down. Last time I was there, I feel like there was a shutting down notice.
And of course, I never go to that mall, but I did find out that there's a Ricky's in Hillside, and I thought we didn't have one anymore.
Me either.
So,
Oh, good to know.
Yeah. But what did I like the most? Kind of seeing wise. Yeah, it was really cool seeing the ship and all that stuff in the middle of the mall. Like it was this big ship and all this water stuff and big skating rink. The go-karting. It's like a 3-level indoor go-kart. Cool. Yeah. And so you're walking in the mall and all of a sudden you hear because these cars are going and you're like, oh my God. And you literally can just watch as these people are zooming past. And so my son would have loved that. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, but that's what I had fun with in West Edmonton Mall.
Well, I'm glad you had fun.
Thanks.
Tell me a little bit, what did you guys work on your last practice circle? Because you guys just met. Mm-hmm. And so because you were still at the very beginning stages of the journey, the soul activating journey, you work with students for 6 months in a container where you meet bi-weekly for practice circles. So what were you guys practicing last time?
So we were doing the third eye, the throat chakra, and the heart chakra. So
You were reading chakras.
yep. So we're moving through reading energy, reading chakras, what that kind of looks like. It was, and like the week before when we didn't have practice, it was some healing, right? So it was inner child healing and shadow work. So it was great. We kind of like talked a little bit and debriefed about what everybody's experiences were with the inner child and going through
every off week is like a guided meditation for healing, and then there's like reflective points and
journals and all that stuff to like move through, whether they can choose to do that or not. Like we're all in our different journeys, but it's available. And so that was really interesting, and we spent a lot of time on that because there was a lot of aha moments for everybody, and I love that, right? I love the healing, and then had some self-doubts popping up, which absolutely happens all the time. Some blocks of like, oh my God, I used to be able to do this. Why can't I do this now? Like getting in the way. And it was beautiful. I actually like really enjoyed, because obviously I gave my input and my questions on that. And then other students started to kind of be like, give their input and stuff, like helping each other. And I loved that. And sent them off to do the readings. I've been changing it up every week. So some weeks I'm doing it where everybody's reading one person, right? And they're reading themselves in that sense, like whatever it is. And then we come back and share. This week I decided to switch it up just with some of the self-doubts happening. And I teamed people up to read each other, and then did some breakout rooms. So it was a little more like one-on-one. And they just did amazing. Like it was just like, this is the part I love, is like you sit here and you watch them like push through to start to share what they got. And then you start to get these validations, and then you start getting these moments where you're like, oh my gosh, like these, what? Oh, I can't believe I got that. And then by the end of the class, like everybody's just like jacked. And that's what it was. Like everybody was like, oh yeah, because they're all feeling good because they all got. And it was kind of like, you came in feeling like, and then you leave feeling like, oh my God, like, I got. So.
I feel like the students that come to practice, like the ones that are in the journey, so I think 99% of the students that we've worked with in the past, and I don't teach anymore, Allison does the teaching, but we've probably taught over 100 people how to read energy.
Yeah.
And I think 99% of them, all of them have come in doubting that they have the ability, or that how could this work, or whatever. Like all of us did. But I think, like you said, that's the magic of the practice circle. And if you're being drawn to learn how to read energy or connect in that way, it's because you can.
Yeah.
You just need somebody to unlock the experience for you so that you can learn how to trust what you're receiving.
Absolutely.
And that's the beautiful part of doing the journey. And it's just, I don't know, it's just so magical.
Well, and working through those, right? Like, and that's exactly what we did the first half, right? Was working through those doubts, working through the like, but I used to be able to do this, and now I can't. So like I must, and now I'm frustrated, and then working through it in the sense of not just being like, oh, okay, like you just can't. No. Okay, have we tried this? Have you looked at it this way? Have you seen it this way? Like it's working through it to, help you move through some of these blocks that will come up, right?
And having a mentor and a guide there to help support you, because God knows you have been through all of the doubts and the experiences that have gone through as well. So having somebody there that has also experienced awakening their spiritual gifts in the way that they're doing it is so very helpful. And then you can draw on your experiences and my experiences, because we did it together.
Yeah. There's many times I'm like, I would come out and say, okay, like Mandy had this. I think I was talking actually this week about your clairsentience, because clairsentience was something kind of coming forward, and the person was kind of like, what do you do with clairsentience? Like it's like, oh, okay, I feel it. Like, how am I supposed to help people with that? And so it was, me pulling on and being like, how we would sit there and be like, I feel, I'm like, you do know that there's a lot of knowledge in clairsentience. It's not just, oh my God, I'm crying and I feel the pain. There is knowledge, but that's how we have to shift and view it that way. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's, I love that. I love that.
Me too. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, if you're interested in doing the soul activating journey, just check out our website and you can join the wait list for the next cohort. And if Allison has enough interest for January, she will open
up. Yep.
Cohort in January. But if not, then we usually do it like on the equinoxes. Sorry, the equinoxes. So the spring equinox and the fall equinox is usually when you enroll new students. But
yeah, so fun. I actually have a clarity call tonight with somebody. So you can always like book a free 20-minute clarity call just to, if you have questions of like, am I right for this stuff? To just talk about it. So I love that. I love that. Yeah. So let's talk about realms. One of the first realms we kind of indicated or talked about last time that we were going to talk about was like that Shira warrior woman realm. I don't know how we described it, but it was something that we were taken to for a client that we did a joint reading on. So do you want to kind of explain like maybe even like how it kind of came through? And we didn't know about this. I love this part. We learned so much.
This is what you're making me miss doing readings right now.
Oh, that's okay.
Making me miss it. I'm like, I want to do readings.
Well, you know what? Maybe you do it once in a blue moon, right? Like one of those things. It's not an all or nothing. It's one of those like you get to choose when it feels good and when it doesn't feel good.
It's true. It's true. It's exciting. I love because connecting to we learned so much when we're connecting to some like different people and doing the readings and stuff like that. So we did connect, like we did a reading for somebody and we were pulled into their Akashic Records and we were taken to a different realm. So just a reminder, if you haven't listened to our last episode, we talked about what realm did we talk? Oh, the fairy realm.
Fairy realm. Yeah.
And so we, different realms, they're just like Ali explained it as they're different vibrations. So all these realms are kind of like layered. We all exist. It depends on the vibration that you're in, depends on the realm that you're in.
Yeah. So like a radio station, right? I think we were looking at that. You have all these radio stations going at the same time, but until you tune into one, that you're only hearing those songs. And then you go just a little bit further over and you're hearing completely different songs.
Yes.
Kind of the same thing. You're connecting into these frequencies and
we exist in the 3-dimensional realm because that's what our dense bodies vibrate at, but we can change the frequency of our energy and connect to different frequencies, meaning we can connect to different realms.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
So we were pulled into the Akashic Records, which is, for anybody who doesn't know what the Akashic Records is, it's like a metaphysical library where every single soul has their own Akashic Records library room, and within your room holds the history of your soul. So you can read and connect to the past, every single past life that you've ever had, every single future life that you will have, because, well, I won't get into that now, how that works. But you can, anything you want to know about your soul, you can find it in your Akashic Records room. You can find soul contracts. You can, with other people, you can find your blueprint, like your purpose, like all of these things. So we often go to the Akashic Records when we're doing readings for somebody because there's just a little bit more information for us there, especially if they're struggling with something in this lifetime, we can figure out why. So we actually went to this very cool realm. We call it the Shira realm because it reminded us of Shira, the warrior princess. But basically,
I think we were shown like this is how like spirit works when you're receiving messages, because this is where sometimes you're like, this is dumb. Is like all of a sudden they'll show you this image and you're like, why am I seeing Shira? And then, and you and I were we were doing a joint reading. So it was like both of us. And it's like, man, Shira was from my childhood. Like I haven't thought about Shira in forever. And so it's like things like that. They'll bring you things like that. And you're like, what the hell am I seeing Shira for? And it's because of this shit.
because we need, yeah, because we need to understand what it is that we're seeing.
Yeah, it gives us a reference.
Yeah, but essentially we were standing in this realm and it sort of looked like it was just this beautiful space. Like we were in the middle of a field and there was water everywhere and like hills and cliffs and the sun was shining. Like it was just like this beautiful space. And we understood that there was like a veil around this space so that not everybody knew it was there. Like it was protected and you needed to be almost invited into this realm in order to experience it. But when we stepped into this realm, it was like just this very overwhelming. See, this is the clairsentience, the overwhelming sense of confidence, independence, power, courage, and just like this very strong goddess energy. And this is what like the energy that we were feeling. This is your clairsentience that we were feeling when we were standing within this realm. And there was women everywhere, like these very powerful women that just kind of like joined us, and they were all very powerful healers and energy workers.
I love that you pointed out the clairsentience in that, because, you know, something that we teach and we've taught other people is like, yes, there's clear clairs and there's clear ways of receiving it, but they blend together, you know, really, right? And it doesn't matter which one we're picking up on, but I like that you called that out. So yes, even though you talked about the visuals that we saw, that's fine.
So clairvoyance.
That's the clairvoyance. Let's just say we didn't have those visuals. You still were able to pick up and be like, okay, I am feeling that I am around energy that makes me feel empowered, strong. Like there's a message in that. So we don't need to see nothing. We just know, we just have that feeling. We know that you're existing in some type of realm, right? Yeah. I love that.
And so this client had a past life or has had a past life in this realm where they were incarnated or they were experiencing this powerful I don't want to say furious, powerful, like feminine, ferocious, like just like embodiment of divine feminine power to like a 100th degree. Do you know what I mean? Like, I am woman, hear me roar kind of energy.
Yeah. It reminded me of like Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Like the movie, like it really, because again, like spirit's going to give you references from your mind. And I remember them showing me Wonder Woman. They're like, it's like Wonder Woman. And you're like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
And there was no doubt, there was zero doubt within this realm, within these female energies and beings that they couldn't not do something. Like there was this embodiment of, I know I'm powerful in my divine feminine and my divine masculine, like such a beautiful balance of both. And they understood their worth. And it was just like this, I can feel it now. That's why I'm continuing to talk about it.
I love it.
It's just like this very beautiful embodiment of female power. And, you know, the message for this client was to remember her power, to reclaim this power, this part of her that exists within her soul, although it's just a little spark within them right now. And they've forgotten it.
Lost. Yeah.
Yeah. To reconnect to this part of them so that they can move through this lifetime with more embodiment of that power and that courage and that and all of like just all of that energy and maybe not necessarily bringing it in tenfold into this lifetime, but being able to harness more and more of something that already belongs to them and that's already you know, like ribboned within their soul's blueprint. So it was
absolutely, and calling on it. And I'm pretty certain this was the client that when we talked about Shira, she came back and was like, oh my God, I love Shira. Like I forgot if she'd like had a poster or something. There was something not like, it
maybe like a tattoo even. Like it was like,
it was something like, because at first, you know, because obviously when we sometimes share this stuff, we're like, sounds stupid. And, you know, we kind of question our own, like, you know, reality and like, even, and that's the thing, like, you and I, many times when we've gone to past lives, we feel it so viscerally, but then when we have to actually describe it, it can just sound crazy, but when we're in it, viewing it and experiencing it, it's so real.
Yeah.
So we know it's real, but it's sometimes a little ridiculous when you're doing that. So I remember thinking like, oh God, I hope this person's open to hearing this. And then for her to come back and all of a sudden was like validating Shira, she's a big part of her, or something like that. And I just remember being like, get the fuck out. That's why I love the readings, like, because it's that shit that you're just like, what? It's crazy.
That's one of my favorite parts of the readings, because there's a part of us that has to be vulnerable when we show up to do like to present these readings, because like Ali said, when we are receiving what we're receiving, sometimes it's so off the wall, and you're just like, we have to share what we're hearing, what we're seeing, what we're feeling, and try to portray that so that the client understands it from the same depth that we did. But it's hard to do that. And sometimes we feel dumb, but then when we're validated by the client,
sometimes while we're talking, we're like, this sounds ridiculous. And then it's like, and that's where the vulnerability, we know it sounds ridiculous, but it's unbelievably crazy how many people are like, I know I don't remember this, but there's something in me that remembers this, like, and
it
you're
resonates.
just like, it does. It just hits somewhere. And I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the other realms that we visit often is what we call the underworld. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Why does it sound so awful?
Well, because people portray the underworld to be hell, which is
you're going down, you're going into hell.
But the underworld is connected to the fairy realm, but it's also a very shamanic realm. So this is where a lot of healing happens. And it's actually one of the realms that we take our students, or that Ali takes her students to visit and to start exploring at the very beginning of the soul activating journey. And something that, we learned how to explore when we first started opening up our intuition and our spiritual gifts and stuff like that, because it can be a very grounding experience and realm and frequency to exist within, or to visit and to connect to, because it feels so calming. And like I said 5,000 times already, grounding.
It is. It's like, it's so, like I've done a lot of healings in the underworld. I'm like, I remember like going down for myself. And to me, so like, I'll just describe, like when I would enter, it's like, I just see so much moss and greenery. And this is where I've always said it reminds me of Avatar, the movie Avatar. When I remember seeing Avatar for the first time, I was like, holy shit, that looks like, no, I think it was, I saw the Underworld and I said, oh my God, that looks like Avatar. And I remember thinking, like, I've always had like such a pull to that. Like there was something about Avatar, watching the movie made me feel at home. And then it made sense afterwards. But, going down there, and I'm like, I remember like this one time, like having a healing for one of my clients, and I was directed to go down, and I ended up like doing this healing. And then this, it was like a willow tree, like the branches were like a willow tree, but they lit up, and they ended up wrapping around my client and kind of like cocooning, like bringing them into this cocoon. And I remember being like, oh, okay. And they were kind of like, all right, move along. You're done. We're doing the rest. We're doing this. They're staying here. We're doing what we, oh, okay. All right. Okay. See you later. I'm like, stay in your little, cocoon. And then like, but it's so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Right?
I love the underworld. And I think that, so when I refer to it as like the shamanic realm, it's because this is the frequency where a lot of healings happen, because of how grounding and calming and peaceful. And also like, it's so connected to Mother Earth, and there's so much healing within Mother Gaia and all that sort of stuff. Right. So a lot of shamans work within the underworld too. And when I was doing healings a lot, I was always taking my clients into the underworld, into that frequency. I was getting into that frequency, and I was channeling that frequency into the person that I was working with. And it's just, there's so much to explore down there, especially if you've had past lifetimes as like a fairy, or like you'll see like so many mystical creatures down there. Like if you ever want to see a unicorn, go to the underworld.
It's
But
so
like
true.
the ascended master that that kind of like, I don't want to say runs that realm, but connects in within that realm, because it's also a very magical realm, is Merlin. So
Hmm.
if you feel connected to Merlin, to fairies, to nature, to plants, to
Hmm.
animals, you're connecting, like you're already very connected to the underworld. And so this might be a nice realm for you to visit. I bet you would feel very comfortable there.
Yeah.
And probably you do a lot of work in your human self, but could you imagine like amplifying that work by being able to get into that frequency of
Mm,
the underworld as well while you're doing your human tasks? Do you know what I mean?
absolutely. And I'm like, and I can even see like, First Nations people, that's they were connected
Absolutely.
to that, right? So and like pulling on that energy. So I feel like that's really, really neat, right?
Yeah, very, very, very powerful realm
Hmm.
to understand and to work with and to connect to. So I love that
Yeah.
one.
I know. What other realms? We have visited, so obviously the spirit realm,
Mhm.
um, and the Akashic Records, type of realm. I kind of feel like they're one and the same in a way. Like I kind of feel like to me it just kind of looks very similar. Um, I
It looks
know,
similar. Sorry.
yeah, yeah,
I
go.
was gonna say it looks similar to me as well. Um,
Hmm.
when you learn how to connect to these realms, they're it's gonna look different for everybody or feel
Yeah.
different for everybody. But I feel like connecting to the Akashic Records realm is a much higher frequency than
Mm-hmm.
connecting
Mm-hmm.
to the spirit realm, because I feel like I can feel, well, I know I can feel spirit like around me
Here.
in my space. So it's not hard to connect to that frequency, but I
Yeah.
feel like I'm going up, like my frequency is rising quite high
Yeah.
when we go into the Akashic Records.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a difference in the frequency shift for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can definitely connect to past loved ones within the Akashic Records.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel like with the spirit realm, like it's very, I don't know. I'm like, and again, like I like when you said that it's different for everybody and even for yourself.
Mhm.
Because spirit, there's messages in everything that they show us. And so there's many times I've gone to the spirit realm and it's looking like completely different, or I go to the Akashic Records and it's looking completely different, certain aspects of it, because there's messages in that.
Yes.
Even in the sense when I was doing my connection ritual like I do, and I find even in that, sometimes it starts to shift and change, and that spirit giving me messages for what my reading's going to be about, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like with the spirit realm, like I definitely see it reminds me of like Greek mythology,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. So like
Wait, sorry, did you say the spirit realm or the Akashic Records realm?
but that's the thing, they look very similar to me, right? So
Okay.
like they both kind of appear very Greek mythology, like, and kind of that like the white
Yeah.
outfits that people would wear. What is those called?
Toga? Like toga
Toga.
parties?
Yeah, toga parties. Woo! Now that's like a sex party, is it?
No.
Oh,
What? It's like the white, they put
oh,
the white around. It's like
oh! I thought you when you said toga party, I thought you were like insinuating like
maybe that's what they do at toga parties, but I've never been to one.
maybe,
I just,
maybe. Actually, I feel like that's just jogging something. I do feel like I've gone to a realm or something and see, this is where you do so many readings and you go so many places and you can't like hold on to it, right? And so it's like, and you're in a different frequency, so you lose it. But I'm like, this is jogging something in me, and I don't know if it was for a client. I think it was for a client, and it was exactly that. I went to this realm that there was, people wearing those type of outfits, and then people walking around naked, and it was so like, of course I'm like there and I'm like, oh my God. But it was so natural, and like there was no oh my God.
yeah.
Don't you remember that? You kind of remember like this is something's jogging, and I remember it being like, and it was so fluid,
Yeah.
and it felt like the sexuality within this space, like there was no shame. There was nothing. And it was like, if you felt it, you did it. And it was kind of like, you and I walking past each other, and I smell your pheromones or whatever. And I'm like, let's do it now, right here in the middle of the circle. And it was completely normal, where our humans were sitting there going, like, witnessing this, going like, oh my God, people can see you on the street. But this was like, it was so liberating to feel this frequency of like, holy shit, like it was so free. There was so much beautiful freedom.
Yeah. Yeah. I vaguely remember.
You do.
Are you telling me about this? I don't know if I was
probably a past life that I read for you.
No.
That's making me wonder.
I think I'm thinking it's a past life for yourself because.
Oh yeah, right. Because I'm so liberal.
Yeah, well,
I am though. Not like liberal, like let's just do it. No, but I do. There's that part of me that connects to that, where I sit there and I think, we've been given this beautiful gift, right, of pleasure. Why have we vilified it, right?
Yeah,
like
and
so I do have that
realm in this past life, or in this realm, it wasn't vilified, it was unnatural, and it was
celebrated and beautiful. There was absolutely zero shame, and I was like, this is how it should be. Okay, so that I went totally off from the spirit realm. I'm talking about sex parties. It's the sex party realm, so move on from there. I can hear some people going like, I'd like to go there. You can live that in your life right now. Liberate yourself. Be free.
That's so funny. Oh, yeah. So, okay, back to business. But you're right. When you're talking about how so Greek mythology, I feel like that's how I visualize some, like the Akashic Records realm feels very Greek mythology to me too, because it feels like there's lots of columns, there's white marble, there's like
fountains.
It's very luxurious. It's fountains everywhere. Yeah. And it's very luxurious. But
it's really neat.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like talking about the angelic realm. Actually, I feel really connected to the angelic realm more recently than not. And I think it's just the frequency of like peace that I've been feeling a lot recently, which is very nice to feel.
Yes, thank you, spirit.
But it's also I would say a higher vibrational realm to connect to. And obviously when you're connecting to angels, I don't know if you've ever connected to the energy of an angel specifically, but it can be like a very overwhelming sense of like gratitude for like life when you feel the hug of an angel, for example, or the frequency of an angel is coming in and touching you in your heart, or whatever, touching you on your heart. I know your brain went elsewhere when I said
your boobie. I love that word.
If you ever feel this sense of like this overwhelming sense of gratitude and love for life or for anything, whatever, that to me is what it feels like when an angel is sending you their frequency and very close to you. So it doesn't happen often because it is, like I said, overwhelming. It can, you're crying, you're just like, it's
anxiety. Beautiful. Like I have felt that. We've talked about this before with like Kelly Kolodny and channeling Archangel Raphael. And I have definitely, it was really cool to experience, but I'm like, I definitely would feel this anxiety. And you always kind of think, oh my God, why are you having a panic attack? Calm down, Allison. What's going on? And then I soon started to realize, oh, wait a minute. This happens every time she goes to channel and I'm connected. And it's just the frequency so high, my vessel gets a little like overwhelmed. Right. Yeah. And we've experienced that with students, where there's been students that have had very high vibrational spirit guides that when the spirit guide like comes close, they are physically feeling and they get scared and they shut it down and all of those things, where it's kind of like, okay, like sometimes we need to say to spirit, angels, higher dimensional beings, you need to step away. Don't get so freaking close to me because it's too much. Right. And angels can feel like that overwhelming too much. I go to sleep with angels. I'm like, Archangel Raphael, like I literally am like, I'm just out. And then I'm like, damn it, I didn't get the healing. And then like, Kelly Klodney says, no, everybody does. It's just sometimes they have to shut your vessel down because
Yeah,
it's too
no, it's
much.
true. It is true.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been
It's
doing
crazy.
not working with Kelly Kolodny like one-on-one or anything, but I've been in her courses for a long time now.
Yeah.
And so I find when she channels Archangel Raphael, I don't necessarily get like that anymore.
Anymore. No, no.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But there's definitely times like she's doing a sacred womb healing code right now.
Mm,
And so this week we did like a cleansing within the womb and then ancestral healing within the womb, which
mm.
was so powerful and so beautiful. But I knocked out for both of them. Um,
Oh shit. They
for,
knocked you out.
yeah, but not like the whole time. So
No.
there's a lot of it that I was conscious for, but then there's parts where my human ego would have been like,
Yeah.
like trying to create a story or something. So that's the part where I was knocked out. So I was like, fine with that because I know that you receive the healing regardless. But
Regardless. Well, and I do, yeah, that's the thing. It's a very weird knocked out because
yeah,
I have definite, like anytime I've done it, it's like you're present for a certain period and then you all of a sudden are just, you're conscious but you're not conscious. It's the weirdest bloody thing. Like it's like I could hear it in the background.
yeah,
And then I even remember like it's like all of a sudden I come to right when it's ending and before she does like her tuning thing and I'm like it's so weird. Like it's so weird. It's the
I
weirdest
know.
experience. Definitely
Love it.
try it. Kelly Kolodny. Definitely do one of her free Sundays where she like channels and see what
Doesn't
happens.
she does it Wednesdays now.
Oh, okay. Liar. Don't be a
It's
liar,
wild
Allison.
since you've done Kelly stuff, eh?
Okay, yeah, it has been. You know I
That's
hate
okay.
doing these things, right?
I love them. They're
I
just
know
so
you're so good at it. And I'm like, I'm so
it's just not meant for you then. Because if it was something that was on your path that you needed to do for your own healing, you would feel like doing it. You would be
yeah, that's true. That's true. I know. It's fine.
fine.
I'm
It's
like,
fine.
there's definitely, yeah, I know. I get it in different ways, just screaming messages, right? Like, so annoying.
Do you want to talk about any other realms?
No, we talked about the sex realm. That
Well,
was an unexpected one.
I think it's just important for everybody to know that you can learn how to connect to these different realms. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of learning how to shift your frequency to do so.
Yes, absolutely.
Like we said
Absolutely.
at the beginning, it's just like tuning your frequency to the frequency of that realm, which you can do. Everybody can learn how to do this, and it's something that you learn in the soul activating journey,
Yeah.
um,
Hmm.
which is really fun.
It is really fun. Absolutely. I'm like, it's amazing. And all the things that we can learn. And it's just like, and just even just feeling and experiencing that feeling of all of them. It's so cool. But that's why, we're here to share some of this stuff that we have seen and receive and learn. And it's an endless learning journey. And there's just so much we learn all the time. And it's so freaking cool
Yeah.
learning it. Maybe we should just go in and like do like a joint reading like randomly. We should just do that. It's been a long time. See, now you can get your little like, let's just go to the Akashic Records together and be like, teach us something.
Like right now?
No. No.
No.
No, I don't want to right now. You know how I avoid.
She'll say this and then we'll never do it.
I know. Oh, we should maybe do that on a podcast one time. I just wonder if it'd be kind of boring. But then I can hear people saying, no, it wouldn't be boring. I don't know. Maybe something. I don't know.
We
Maybe
could
be
record
like,
it and then decide if we want to share it.
yeah, because you don't want to hear silence how many times where we're like, yeah, we're just like silent forever. I know. Maybe, baby. Or I can try editing out the silent parts.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been fun.
Yeah.
And we love coming on here and connecting. And we love hearing from you guys. I know the fairy one, got some people reaching out being like, oh my God, I needed to hear that. Or they're like, yes, that's what it is. Like, this is why we do do what we do because, it's just here to help you recognize and remember different things that you just didn't know or that was within you. So, yay, we will see you next time.
Okay, bye.